All right. Now that we have an account, we can set up our user. Our user is going to have admin access. All right. So we're going to go ahead and click sign into the console. And because we don't have the IAM user yet, we can't click on this button and sign in with that user. Instead, we're going to sign in as root user. But it's best practice to always use an IAM user, especially if you're working on a development team. All right, so we'll sign in with our email address and our password, and you will see that we are navigated to our console home. All right, we're going to use the IAM Identity Center to set up our admin user and group and role and all of that jazz. Okay, the way to enable that is through IAM. I already enabled mine, but it's pretty easy. Just select the recommended settings, and I will try not to play around with my account without being on video in the future, so you don't have anything to set up without watching me. So we are going to go to the IAM Identity Center. All right, mine's enabled, so it already went there. If it didn't, it would say something like enable, and then it would have a recommended setting, and then it would take you here. Okay. We are then going to navigate to users, and then we're going to select add user. All right, we're going to type in a username. So I'm going to make the username Callie Stosecup because that's me. All right, and then I'm going to send an email to the user with the password setup instructions. Okay. Then I'm going to enter in my coding with callie@gmail.com email and my coding with callie@gmail.com email to confirm. My first name is Callie, my last name is Stosecup, and my display name is going to be Callie Stosecup. All right, then we are going to click next. All right, so we need to create a group. This is going to be the group that's going to have the admin privileges, and then we will add our user to this group. Why are we doing this? Well, if we're just going to give the permission specifically to Callie Stosecup, then anytime we have a new dev join our team, we would have to go through all of the same steps to give them the access. If we have a group instead, then we just add a user to the group. Okay? So we're going to click on Create Group, and a new tab is going to open. And then we are going to add a group name. Let's add something like, oh, perfect, admin team. I've done this before. And then we are going to click Create Group. All right, so now I can go ahead and close out of this tab. All right, and I'm going to click Refresh here, and Refresh is now going to find me my group. So I can add my user, Callie Stosecup, to this group by clicking this box, check, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Next. All right. So this looks good. I'm reviewing and adding my user, and I'm adding them to the admin team group, and I'm going to click Add User. All right, so Callie Stosecup was added, and then now it's saying I should receive an email with the instructions on how to set up my password. So I am going to pause this video here, and I'm going to wait for my email to come, and then I will resume filming once I see that email. All right, I got an email. The subject is invitation to join AWS IAM Identity Center. All right, and then if you open the email, you see a button that says accept invitation. So I went ahead and clicked that, and that opened up this page where I'm going to add a new password for Callie Stosecup. I'm not going to add that on this video, but I'm going to add it right now. And sorry, I'm using Google to create my password for me. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing that right. Okay, perfect. I typed in my password and I went ahead and saved my password. And now it is redirecting me to sign in. So let me pull this down. And Callie Stosecup is my username. My password is popping up. And then I'm going to click sign in. All right. And now it's asking us to do multi-factor authentication. So I'm going to do me look. I'm going to do Authenticator app because I have one of those already on my phone, and click next. All right, so now I'm going to use an Authenticator app to keep setting this up. So I am using the Google Authenticator. So what's going to happen, and see it says either install Google Authenticator, Duo Mobile, or Authy app. So I'm using Google Authenticator. All right, it's just an app that I downloaded from the App Store on my iPhone. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the QR code. All right, and then I'm going to scan it on my phone, and then it's going to give me a authenticator code to type in. I don't really know what the rules are in terms of if I'm supposed to show you that or not, so I'm just going to pull it to another window, but that is what I'm doing. I'm on Google Authenticator. I'm scanning the QR code. All right. Now I have a code that popped up on my phone, and I'm going to enter the code in. Oh, and I was too slow. Typing it in now. All right. And then when you do that, let me pull this back down now for you to see. You'll see this successfully registered. You can now use it, and we're going to say done. All right, perfect. Okay. So then I am going to go ahead and cross out of there. All right, so now we have our user and we have our group. The next thing that we need to do is we need to add our administrative permissions. Okay, so we are going to find where permissions are at. And if you look over here, this is kind of where in AWS you can find a lot of the navigation on the left-hand side. So we are going to go to multi-account permissions. All right, and then we are going to choose AWS accounts. All right, and a new page opened. Oops, sorry, you can see. I actually don't know what you can see or not. All right, a new page opened, and we have this structure here. And it displays our hierarchy, right? So we have our root is coding with Callie, and that is the management account. All right, so then we are going to click on this assign users or groups to this account. We're going to click on it first. All right, and then we are going to click the admin team, and then we are going to click next. All right, and now we have permission sets. So we're going to need to create a permission set. All right, and it's going to open up in a new tab. All right, and now we have the permission set. We're going to keep the predefined permission set because why create something new if we're already good? And we're going to keep this administrator access. All right, then we're going to create next. So this is going to, just for make sure everybody understands, administrator access is going to be full access to all services and resources. But you can see that there's a lot of other different types of access that you could create. Okay, and so you'll see when you're working at different companies too that you might not get administrative access. You probably won't. You're going to get what you need in order to do your work. Okay, next. All right, so now we have our administrator access name here. I'm going to just leave that there. And let's see, I think session duration 1 hour is good. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then I'm going to click create. All right, cool. So now the next thing that we need to do is close this tab, and we can go back over here. You can see that we are waiting on permission sets, but we don't have any. So let's go ahead and refresh this, and you can see that now we do have a permission set. All right, so we're going to check this one that we just created, and we're going to click next. All right, so our user group that we're adding the permission set to is admin team, which if we go and look at it, you will see that Callie Stowe's Cup is on that team within that group. Okay, and so now we can click submit. All right, so now we have provisioned your AWS account successfully and applied the updated permission set to the account.